Okay, so let's unpack this. We're doing a deep dive today into organizational communication.
Yeah, we've got quite a stack of sources, articles, notes.
And the mission really is to pull out the key insights for you. Not just what communication is, but, you know, why it's absolutely essential for any group.
hmm And right away, what jumps out from these sources is this core idea. It's not just about sending a message, it
Right.
really requires understanding. They talk about a meeting of minds, like a shared grasp of the information or the idea.
So if the person receiving it doesn't quite get it the way you intended,
Then, well, according to this view, communication hasn't fully happened. It needs that shared meaning.
that makes a lot of sense. It's reception and comprehension, not just transmission.
Exactly.
And the sources really hammer home how vital this is inside an organization. Apparently, early thinkers kind of missed this.
Yeah, they often saw things more mechanically, structures, charts. But later on, the human element, the dynamics became clearer. The sources call communication a crucial internal dynamic.
And a strong determinant of productivity. That's quite a statement.
It is. It's framed as the actual foundation of an organization. One analogy I liked was that it's a lubricant.
A lubricant.
How so? It reduces friction. Think about processes, handoffs, decisions. Good communication just smooths everything out, prevents those hangups.
I love that image. Reduces friction. Okay, so how does this meeting of minds actually work in practice? The sources lay out a basic process, right?
They do. You have a sender who, encodes a message, puts the thought into words or symbols.
Then sends it through some kind of channel. Email, face-to-face, whatever.
Yep. And then there's a receiver at the other end who has to decode it, interpret it.
But it's not just a one-way street. That feels important.
Critically important, the sources stress feedback. The receiver needs to respond, somehow confirm, ask a question, react.
Closing the loop.
Exactly. That feedback completes the circuit. It helps the sender know if that meeting of minds actually happened.
Like the project manager email example they used, sending an update about a deadline.
Right. The manager sends it, encodes, channels email. The team receives it, decodes.
But if no one replies or asks, wait, is that the new deadline? The manager is kind of flying blind.
Precisely. And all along that path, you're dealing with noise.
Noise. Okay, and that's not just like construction outside the window.
No, it's much broader. It's any interference. Physical distractions, sure, but also confusing jargon in the message itself.
Or maybe emotional bias. Reading an email when you're already stressed.
Definitely. Or even just information overload, skimming things too quickly. Noise can distort the message at any stage. Sending, the channel itself, or receiving.
So, given all these potential pitfalls, why is getting it right so fundamental beyond just, passing along facts?
Well, this is where the sources really dig in. Communication enables cooperative action. It's the absolute bedrock for people working together toward any goal. Chester Barnard's ideas about cooperation come up here.
Makes sense. You can't cooperate if you don't understand each other.
Right. It also supports decision-making, getting the right info to the right people. And interestingly, it serves human needs, too. Sometimes just venting or connecting is a key function.
And the informal stuff. The sources mention the grapevine. That can tell you a lot about what's really going on, can't it?
Oh, absolutely. It reveals aspects of organizational reality that the formal channels might totally miss.
So, what stops this smooth flow? What are the common barriers the sources point out?
Things we've all probably run into. Language differences, obviously, or just using too much technical jargon.
Yeah, or emotional reactions getting in the way. Someone gets defensive or upset and stops listening properly.
Big one. Also, inadequate information, not sharing the full picture, and status differences.
People being afraid to speak up or question someone higher up the chain.
Exactly. That fear can really shut down honest communication.
But there are ways around these barriers, according to the research.
Yes, thankfully. The big one is actively using feedback loops. Don't assume understanding. Check for it. Ask questions. Paraphrase back.
And using clear, simple language, avoiding that jargon where possible.
Also, acknowledging emotions. If a topic is sensitive, address that. Don't just pretend the feelings aren't there.
And using multiple channels seems key too, not just relying on one email for something important.
Definitely. Back it up with a conversation, maybe a quick chat message for clarification. Redundancy can be good.
And we can't ignore technology here. ICT, information and communication tech, that's changed things massively.
Completely. Information flows faster, further. It can flatten hierarchies a bit sometimes, letting people connect across levels more easily.
But it's not all positive, is it? The sources mention downsides too.
For sure. Information overload is a huge one, just drowning in emails and messages.
And the lack of nonverbal cues, tone, empathy,
Yeah.
they get lost in text. Sarcasm can go wrong very easily.
Oh, yeah. Choosing the right channel for the message becomes even more important. Some things just need a voice or face-to-face.
So pulling this all together, this deep dive really shows communication isn't just some administrative task. It's fundamental.
It's the lifeblood, really. Enabling understanding, cooperation, efficiency. It underpins almost everything an organization does.
From the formal stuff, like
Yeah.
policies and reports,
To the informal chats, the culture, how things feel, it connects everything.
think about your own world, your workplace, your team, whatever group you're part of.
Mhm.
You see both, right? The official announcements and the water cooler talk or the private chats.
Both channels are constantly operating.
So here's a final thought, building on what we've seen in the sources. In your own experience, how much of the actual organizational reality, the unwritten rules, what people really think, how things truly get done, are you picking up from the formal communication versus the informal channels? Which one feels more influential day to day, something to chew on